Hello, Savage Squad. Welcome to J Theory, the show where I tried to copy MatPat, but I failed miserably. It's been over 2 years since my last J Theory, and I must say, I kind of miss making those. So we're gonna make one time this year, one time. This is gonna be pretty dark. Really dark. Ladies and gentlemen, today's theory is, what if Amy Rose didn't commit the crime? You're probably thinking, what crime? What are you talking about? Well, sit down, buckle your seatbelts, because we're about to explore the world of There's Something Wrong with Amy. And there is indeed something wrong with Amy Rose, but there's only 3 parts to this, and I will spoil every single one of them, so spoilers ahead. I have some theories that I want to put out for this little series that they're doing, and I have 3 theories for 3 different things, so please keep that in mind. And also, what are the 3 things? Well, I'll tell you after I tell you this story. And with that out of the way, I think we're ready to discuss There's Something About Amy. So our story begins with Miss Amy Rose knocking on Sonic the Hedgehog's house. He begins to question why there's so many presents and hot dogs on the table, and Amy Rose tells him that it was his birthday and decides to give him a whole bunch of chili dogs. And if you wonder what Sonic's response is, this is his response.
That's a lot, Amy. Thanks, but I'm kind of busy right now. Sorry.
Amy Rose begins to get startled, saying that she didn't mean to bother him, and, well, yeah, that's basically it. Except when Sonic goes to take the chili dogs because he felt bad. And now Amy Rose is sad again. Yeah, she's pretty upset. Eventually, though, she go ask Tails for advice on how to get Sonic to love Miss Amy Rose. She came to Tails at first because there was an explosion. Tails explains that he's fine because of the explosion and that everything is going to be okay. Amy Rose wants to know how to get to Sonic and asks Tails for love advice because she has no one else to turn to. This was Tails' response, or love advice, that is.
You know what your problem is? You're coming on too strong. What does Sonic like to do more than anything? Run? Exactly! And you can't run after something that's always there, can you? Let him chase you. Next time you see him, don't even look at him.
Which was exactly what she was about to do, but first she had to thank Tails for such wonderful love advice. Tails explains what are friends for. Keep in mind, what are friends for is going to be a famous quote by the end of this. So, as you can see on your screen, Amy Rose is trying to ignore Sonic, trying to do something that she knows she can't do deep in her heart. She's going to try and just ignore. You know, that's all she's trying to do. She's trying to follow Tails' love advice. She walks past them, didn't work, and she freaks out. Since the plan didn't work the first time, she went for another round with Tails to try and see if Tails can give Amy some more love advice. Tails give her another bit of advice, and this is what he said this time. Sorry, my fault.
I was sure that would work, but don't cry. There's more than one way to skin a cat. I've got it. Negging. Negging? What is that? Well, it's sort of like a backhanded compliment. Like if I said, nice massive yellow belt, it really distracts from your ridiculous huge ears. I don't know, Tails. It sounds sort of mean. That's the whole point! You've got to break him down so he can see how much he needs you! You've got to be cruel to be kind. Give him what he gives you!
And so Tails wasn't really sure that Amy wants to do this, and Amy was like, I really want to do this. I want to try anything that you want me to do, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get the Sonic the Hedgehog. As you can see though, hold on, pause, there is a crystal. Keep in mind, that crystal is going to be a big part of this little story later. Tails begins to say what are friends for in a more creepier tone, and Tails was there with Amy because Tails is up to something, I'm not gonna lie. But in the meanwhile, right now, Amy's trying to force herself to make Mr. Sonic here, and this is what she said.
And I really love the way they cover up your horrifying feet.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Amy. I really like your outfit too. It must be nice going out in the same old dress every day and not having to care about how you look.
Thank you. At least I wash it, unlike you and your gross chili-stained gloves.
Hey! They're friggin' whites! Do you know how hard it is to keep white gloves clean and eat chili dogs every day? It's impossible! Just freaking leave me alone!
Well, that didn't work out, Mr. Tails, who always give Amy wrong advices. So after this time, Amy explains that they're never gonna work out, they're doomed, they're not ever gonna be together ever again. All Amy wants to do is to make Sonic happy, and Tails has one last thing.
Maybe negging was a bad idea, but we can't give up. I know we can make Sonic love you. I can't. It hurts so much. I'm just not good enough. That's it. That's the problem. It's you. You're not good enough for Sonic. But we can fix that. How? Simple. We change you. We make you better. We make you into Sonic's dream girl. Oh, wait, what am I saying? So many alterations. The process would be far too dangerous. Do it!
And so Amy explains that all that she ever wanted to do was to be with the beloved hedgehog because he always saves the day. He always just was there for her. It was always meant to be. If Sonic doesn't love Amy the way that she is, then she'll change, even if it means to be with him. She'll change. Now, if like me personally, I wouldn't change because of some other dude. I wouldn't do it. So with Tails agreeing to this, Amy's finally going to change into Sonic's dream girl. And then he says, for the last freaking time, what are friends for? Strapped her to this weird chair, and then Tails explains that when she wakes up, she's going to be Sonic's dream girl. It's going to be a new her. The video ends with Amy recovering from the surgery and Tails asking Amy if she's okay. How does she feel? And then Amy explains to Tails that she feels different. Tails responds that change is good, different is good. And as you can see from the screen, she feels Poor little Amy. All that she wanted to do was to get Sonic to love her, man. But instead, Tails just steadily getting in her way. And she doesn't even know that, low-key. Now let's go into part 2. So our story begins in part 2, as always, back at Sonic's house. As you can see here on your screen, ladies and savages, he's sleeping. But now he's awoken by a weird thump sound or some sort of weird noise in his house. He explains to himself that if it's Eggman that he's gonna do something. He heard a womanly voice going, "Gonna what?" as he's seen some weird chili dogs on the dinner table. He looks over and finds out that it's the new transformed Amy by the surgery made by Tails. A surprised Sonic wants to know what's going on because they can't be the real Amy, but Amy exclaims that this is the real her. She exclaims that she had to go through all that surgery, all that pain, just so they could be together. This is the rest of the conversation.
I have done what you wanted. I have become what you want. What you desire.
What I desire? Like a chili dog? Wait, you did this for me?
An evil laugh comes out of Amy, explains that everything is for Sonic. Nothing else matters. Everything that she does was for him all along. And she explains that the surgery hurt so much and that it took everything that she had. Now with a sickened Sonic, with a sickened face on his face, he explains that he's going to be sick and he never wanted this for Amy. And maybe she should go get some help. With a laughing Amy, now Sonic called her crazy, Amy lets out this evil laugh and tells Sonic that she has evolved into a beautiful butterfly out of a caterpillar shell. And then she also explains that she needs to be loved right now by Sonic. Sonic explains that Amy needs help, and Amy with a frustrated attitude grabs on to Sonic's arm and grips him until his arms bleed. And she explains that everything that he did for him was only for him, and it was only because that they could be together because of the surgery. Sonic, with a crying attitude and with a broken arm, explains that they could have even been together and they're not darlings or whatever. Sonic explains that she could have even been loved by Sonic, but Sonic don't even love her anymore because of the act that she pulled, essentially. After Amy hearing this, it shattered her whole world apart, and then she begins to feel these bottled up emotions all at once. She relapses, and she looks at Sonic leaving, going out the door. All of a sudden, all those bottled up emotions came to the surface. She got pretty upset, and then she grabs the hammer and the mallet and bashes him, kills him, absolutely wrecks him over and over. Amy keeps saying, "Stay, stay, stay, stay." Now the deed is done. Sonic's dead. His corpse is now laying on the ground. All that bottled up emotions is now starting to go away after Sonic's death, and then she realizes what she has done. Sonic's dead. Her repeating to herself that Sonic runs so fast, and now coming back to her senses, like I said earlier, there's only one person that can try to bring Sonic back to life, and that was the one, the only, Tails. Now we're doing part 3 on full screen for extra effects. This is what we're doing. So after Sonic has been brought into Tails' lab, he's not really sure if he wants to go through with it, and also he's not a doctor. And Amy explains, is his head good flat or bad flat? Obviously with the hammer, Tails tells Amy that his head is bad flat, and she's going to be in a lot of trouble. Amy knows this, but Tails wants to help anyway. And then again, for the last and final time, Tails knows what he's doing, decides to get Amy to grab a shovel, and he says to himself, for the last and final time, what are friends for? So as they're deep in the woods, they're shoveling, they're digging, they're trying to hide Sonic's corpse, or the so-called Sonic's corpse according to Tails. You'll know what I mean later. Amy reminisces to herself, says that she could have had a good life, she could have had a lot of things with Sonic, she could have loved Sonic, but then she threw it all away. This was Tails' response.
Tails? Are you laughing? How can you laugh at a time like this? Because it's all so damn funny. Of course you could have been together. Sonic loved you from the start. He was just scared of his feelings. For all his cockiness, he didn't know how to act around you. And you know Sonic. He likes to run.
All of a sudden, there's a flashback of Sonic from the very first episode, and this is a little bit different from the first episode because when he closes the door, he was like stupid, stupid, stupid. He really likes Amy, to summarize these whole flashbacks. There's gonna be a number of flashbacks on your screen, but basically to sum it all up and what they all mean, it basically means that Sonic loved Amy Rose this entire time, but he was just too scared of his feelings, and this so-called Tails didn't tell Amy anything. But why is that? This is the reason.
He is not Sonic! He's an imposter! What do you mean? Exquisite timing. Impossible! How can it be you unless... Who are you?
I told you. I'm Sonic's best friend!
Now, I will be lying if I said that I was scared when I watched this for the first time. I was absolutely horrified. I was absolutely, oh yeah, I'm so scared. Hell no, I'm not scared. I'm about to put the whole clock on you. It's no other than Secret History Tales. That man is a menace to society. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you step in my neck of the woods, you finna catch this heat, bro. In case you don't know who Secret History Tales is, let me explain. Essentially, Secret History Tales is a crazy version of Tails who is looking for the real Sonic, quote unquote. And he's out here killing all these Sonics, and he's out here looking for the real one, just as crazy as him. And it seems that he stumbled upon this Amy for some odd reason. And we're about to get very close to our theory in a minute, but let's finish off this part 3 real quick so I can tell you all my theory, because this video is getting kind of long. We're at 15 minutes in this baby. So anyway, back to it. After Tails' big reveal, Amy tells his so-called Tails that you're crazy and that you kept us apart. You kept me and Sonic apart. You're crazy. And that you need to pay. You need to die, like right now. And then after that, Tails, with his evil laugh, he's going crazy. But all of a sudden, Amy jumps at him and chokes the living hell out of this man. Like, she's not giving up. And then Tails mutters that if you kill me, then you're never going to see him. And Amy was like, who's him? Who's him? And then he says, Sonic. She lets go of the guy's neck. Amy was like, you're lying. Sonic is dead. What are you talking about? And then Tails was like, not this Sonic. The real Sonic. The Sonic that will love Amy for all that she is and never let her go. The Sonic that will love her and appreciate her. Don't you want to go and meet the real Sonic? Not that Sonic that's in that body bag. And then Amy, with her flustered appearance, appears to be agreeing to his terms and wants to go with him to meet this so-called real Sonic. And so they went out to, well, I assume to be Tails' lab. This so-called Tails' lab, anyway. And they end the video in a weird way because here we go again. The last and final time.
What are friends for?
Ladies and savages, we've gone through all 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. So now it's time for the main course. The J theory. Remember those 3 questions I asked you about? What are the 3 things? Well, here is the 3 things. First, we gotta know who is the real Sonic. Second, did Amy really kill Sonic? And 2, where are they headed? I think we all know the answer to the first one, because the first question of this theory, to answer all 3 questions, is to where is the real Sonic? Who is the real Sonic? And after digging, I have figured out that the only thing I can think of is Fleetway. Fleetway Supersonic, to be precise. He is the only person that'd be crazy enough to be with Tails, and they have referenced comics before in their previous videos, and references, and a whole bunch of other stuff. There's no way that it's not Fleetway. It has to be Fleetway. That at least that's just like I said, this is just a theory. A little bit of, evidence is backed up, supported by the 3 parts alone. I mean, they even referenced Sonic Advance, for crying out loud. They referenced the comics. They gotta do Fleetway. It is Fleetway, and I'm putting money on it. It's Fleetway. So that's question 1. Question 2, was it Amy's fault? You're probably wondering, Amy's fault for what? Obviously for Sonic's death. What are you, blind? No, just kidding. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. But for real though, I don't think it was Amy's fault that Sonic died. I mean, sure, she had the weapon, but she was driven to that point. She had all those bottled up emotions. I think this comment right here fits things quite well. I'll read it for y'all guys real quick. I love how Amy's madness comes from the fact that out of all of her sacrifices, all of her endurances, turns out the things that kept her from the one she loves most. And I agree with this. This is pretty solid take. Or how about this one? What I love is Amy didn't snap because Crazy Yandere loves Sonic. She hurt him because she was actually very angry because refused to love her. All the neglect and pain she had came bubbling to the surface and she lashed out. Now here's my theory. My theory on this question, my theory about this whole situation is that yes, she did kill him, but for the right reasons, right? I'm not saying that she didn't physically kill him. Yes, she physically killed him, but for the right reason. Everybody's like, Amy's wrong for doing that. She's wrong for doing that. No, the whole theory about this one was that she it's understandable in her point of view why she did it. That's basically why I was trying to. But like I said, it's just a theory. Maybe the writers have other plans, but I think everybody can agree that this is the most likely reason why she killed Sonic. Not because she went yandere, but because her feelings were all bottled up. I don't believe she did it because she wanted him to stay. She did it because of all of her emotions being bottled up all at once. It's pretty sad to say. All right. It's time for our last and final question out of all these theories. Where are they headed? Seriously, like at the end of it all, They just grab onto each other's hands, and then he says, "What are friends for?" So where are they going? Well, here's my theory on that. My theory is that they went to whatever Speedway was and pretty much meet up with each other. I don't think he knows. Yeah, I don't think Sonic Fleetway knows that Tails is bringing Amy for the ride, but he definitely knows that this Tails exists and they're probably on their way. I think that Speedway is across that portal, and yeah, definitely. There's no doubt, no doubt. I'm telling you guys, put money on it. They're going to meet Fleetway, I promise, bro. Me and everybody else in that comment section agree that is Fleetway, even though I thought of it first. Oh, so here's a bonus. Do you see that crystal that's right behind Tails? That's the same crystal he used to power up the portal with. You ain't slick. Some people say that that's like a Lego type crystal, I think. I don't know if that's actually true, because it's been a while since I last seen anything Lego. But apparently that's a Lego looking crystal. But either way, that crystal was the same crystal they powered up the portal with. So take that as a bonus. And all these theories I'm making right now are not facts. I'm not saying that all these are facts. I'm just like theorizing, essentially. I'm just telling you guys what I know and what could happen. For all we know, it could be a portal to the Lego world. It could be a portal to anything, but in my predictions, I think that is otherwise, okay? Please don't go in the comment section after the next episode or the next chapter being like, "Ha, Jay Savage, you suck. Your theorizing stuff is trash. You're not a good theory person." I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You thought I was serious about that? I mean, I was, but like, not to the point of betting. I'm not gambling. It's just a theory. Jeez, calm down. Y'all don't see me trying to get my gambling freak on. If you know the reference, you do. If you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. Anyway, I think that concludes my J theory. It's been a long time. It's been like 3 years since my last J theory, and I wanted to come back to it, to follow up. I seen this series and I thought, why not make a theory of it? It's a pretty cool series. I like Sonic. I mean, he's even in my intro. What? And I thought about making a cool theory. Even the creators, even Matt was like, y'all go ahead and theorize what's gonna happen next. So here I am theorizing. So, yeah. If you want more J theories, if you want more reactions, if you want more rap battles, if you want more of Jay Savage in general, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all social media, follow my Twitter, Twitch, and everywhere. Just follow me everywhere. I'm going to be giving you guys more updates to my next few uploads on my Twitter, so that is the most important. Okay, that's important. Recently, I'm working on my multiverses video, because I did stream my Twitch the other day, and I'm going to be making a video out of it. So hopefully, you guys look forward to that as for the next video. And yeah. By the way, I'm also trying to get up to 1K subscribers or 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. So, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that jazz. I pretty much said that already. And yeah, see you guys later, guys. Savage out.